What's going on, wolves? It's your boy Saeed. In this video, we're gonna talk about the imagination, and it's just a freestyle rant just about the idea of the imagination, okay? Because I think we live in a society, at least in the Western world, where if it's a materialistic society, meaning I'm not just talking about money, meaning if I can't tangibly touch it or measure it, then it's not real. However, this very cell phone that I'm talking to you through, the very computer or screen, whichever, if you're watching on a cell phone or computer, the very screen that you're watching this video through, these cell phones, these smartphones, tablets, computers, laptops, before we could have them in physical matter reality, they were once a thought imagined by somebody, right? Right here, it's imagined by somebody. This screen that's this big, and it can do this and it can do that, and it was all imagination, not real. Right? Because now, if somebody's imagining shit, you're just imagining things, it's not real, you have a dream and it's like, it's not real, even though you've seen something here. What is it? Something in here, right? You sit down and you visualize something, and some people might tell you, you're just imagining things, get back to the real world, but guess what? The real world right now, whichever the real world happens to be in your case, because we all have a subjective reality, it's a result of someone else's imagination, or let's call it the collective imagination of humanity that came before up until this point. Okay? So imagination should not be marginalized, because it is the main thing. Everything that we have come up with as a humanity, from the buildings that we build to the houses, to these screens, these cell phones, everything, using tools, simple tools. We had to imagine it first before we can bring it into physical matter reality. Now, let's take it a little bit further. Where the fuck are these thoughts and images and visions coming from? Where are they coming from? How come I can just close my eyes right now, right here, and I can picture, I don't know, a time machine, for example, right? Which doesn't exist right now. How come I can just close my eyes right now and picture a time machine and see its image and see its function and feel its function, but it doesn't exist? Where is this coming from? Let's go 1,000 years from now ago, right? Somebody sitting down in, say, Scandinavia, right? So, and we're talking Middle Ages here. Sits down, closes his eyes, and pictures this plane thing that flies, and if people from that time came, you suddenly brought somebody from that time and brought him here and say, look at this airplane, they would not even be able to comprehend it. Back then, if you went back in time and brought them this airplane thing or this cell phone, and they would look at it, they would be like, you're a magician. They probably worship you as a god. You're a magician. How do you have this cell phone? How do you have this airplane? Right? So before, in that time, it was like, no, that's not real. And it goes the same thing now. A lot of things that we might imagine for the future, somebody comes up to you you're just imagining, bro. It's not real. Well, no. How do you know? My theory on it, or let's say my understanding / my theory / my observation / my weird whatever thoughts that come to me, I think everything you imagine, I think Picasso said that, the Italian painter from, I think he was a painter, right, from the Renaissance. Everything you imagine is real, meaning a lot of you guys know how much I love Dragon Ball Z and Goku and Vegeta and all these characters, and you might think they're not real, but I think but I think that we bring them. I think Vegeta, Goku, Dragon Ball Z characters, they're all real, just a different dimension that we cannot perceive with our 5 limited senses. But we have this third eye, this pineal gland, this imagination to access different dimensions, you see? Because with our 5 physical senses, we actually only access 1%, less than 1% of what's actually happening right around us right now in this dimension. Because we're limited by these 5 senses. But then we're given this gift of imagination to access different dimensions, different realities that are every bit as real as this one right now, as me touching this leaves. You see, I'm touching these leaves, and to me that's real. To you guys, you can go to the woods and touch them. To you, that's real because you can touch it with one of your 5 senses. That's your touching, right? But if we go past the 5 senses, which is your pineal gland, your third eye, your imagination, guess what? That's your tool to access different dimensions, different realities. So when we bring all this, you know, for example, psychedelic art and all these entities that people draw, like the DMT entities, the machine elves, and when we just sit down, close your eyes and bring back a painting or something or a character, like the guy that drew Dragon Ball Z characters, right? It's his imagination, but where is that coming from? What I think, and I'm not the only one that thinks that, we're just bringing it from different realities, from different dimensions, from different places altogether, right? And there's like the multiverse theory, which states that like the number of universes is essentially infinite. There are an infinite number of things happening all at the same time. And yeah, we're just kind of living this one part of reality, but this beautiful gift here, the imagination, brings things into this physical reality. So I think the imagination is the root. It's one of the foundations and should be cherished and should be looked at as something sacred, as opposed to something, get back to the real world. It's not real. Stop imagining things. What are you trying to do here? Stop imagining. Stop this. You know, get real. Be realistic. No. Thank God for the imaginations, because if we didn't have them, we would be limited to just the 5 senses. Right? We would just be limited to these 5 senses and life would be pretty boring. It would be all about survival as opposed to childlike curiosity. This is why kids imagine a lot. Childlike curiosity to manipulate the reality around us and integrate it and intermingle it with other realities that coexist probably right now. Just we can't see them because 5 senses limit us, and just makes life more interesting, more fun. Right? So depend more on your imagination. Sit down and visualize things, and visualize things that mean a lot to you. You know, like if you're an artist, for example, and you love to draw, hey, you know, cherish this gift and bring back these beautiful gifts. If you're a musician, you ask musicians like Mozart and Beethoven and really successful musicians even in this modern day, and when they come up with a symphony or something, they'll tell you that we heard it. Where did they hear it from? It's all there. We're simply vehicles to express God, to express the force, to express the universe, to express this all animating force, this infinite intelligence. And kind of part of our purpose is, besides obviously serving other people, is to serve other people and give them the gift through self-expression, through bringing back whatever it is God, the universe, wants you to imagine and bring into this world. Alright? So let's finish off the rant here for now, because it's getting a little bit too wordy even for my own liking and a little bit too philosophical. But we'll definitely come back and touch on this because it's very interesting, you know? It's fun. I like to talk about this shit. It's really fun. So that's it. If you want to support the Wolfpack financially, check out Patreon. I'll leave a link for it in the description and in the comment as well. It would absolutely mean the world to me if you can contribute, if you can, right, with just as little as $2 a month, right? We're trying to get to $500 a month right now, just to kind of cover my own bills. That's all, right? And after that, from there on, we'll set new goals and update the equipment and do more things with the channels, right? So if you feel like you want to support this Wolfpack to keep going, it would absolutely mean the world to me, guys. If we collectively, you know, pitch in just a little bit, would really appreciate it. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just keep watching the videos. Just keep watching the videos. And that's it. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes. And that's not imagination, bro. That's reality.